What if I told you that a bare, lifeless balcony, just concrete and empty air, could become a lush, thriving garden bursting with herbs, colour and life? And what if I told you it would cost less than €50 to do it? No prior gardening experience, no expensive tools, no huge outdoor space, just a handful of pots, the right compost, a few carefully chosen plants, and the willingness to get your hands a little dirty. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire transformation, from bare concrete to beautiful container garden, step by step, in real time. We'll cover everything: what to buy, what to avoid, how to set up your containers properly, which plants work best for small spaces, how to care for them week by week, and the most common mistakes that kill container gardens before they even get started. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to start your own hidden garden, no matter how small your space is. Before we get into the practical stuff, I want to take a minute to talk about why balcony gardening is genuinely one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I don't say that lightly. There's a growing body of research showing that time spent around plants, tending them, watching them grow, even just sitting near them, reduces stress, lowers cortisol levels, and improves mood. And unlike a gym membership or a wellness app, a balcony garden costs almost nothing to maintain once it's set up. But beyond the science, there's something deeply satisfying about growing your own food and flowers. When you snip fresh basil from a pot you planted yourself and add it to a meal, it tastes different, better, because you made it happen. Balcony gardening also gives you something that most wellness habits don't: a reason to go outside every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes to water your pots and check on your plants. That daily ritual of stepping outside, slowing down and paying attention to something living, it changes how you feel about your day. And perhaps most importantly for a lot of us watching this, it gives you control. In a world where so much feels uncertain and out of your hands, a small container garden is entirely yours. You choose what grows. You decide how it looks. You tend it on your terms. So even if you're starting with just one pot on a windowsill, know that what you're doing matters more than it might look like from the outside. The single most important thing you can do before spending a single euro on plants or pots is to understand your space. And I mean really understand it, not just glance at it and assume. There are 3 things you need to assess before you buy anything. The first is light. How many hours of direct sunlight does your balcony actually get each day? This will determine almost everything about what you can grow. South-facing balconies that get 6 or more hours of direct sun can grow almost anything: tomatoes, peppers, herbs, strawberries, lavender. East or west-facing balconies getting 3 to 6 hours of partial sun are brilliant for salad leaves, herbs like mint and parsley, and most flowers. North-facing balconies with limited direct sun can still support shade-tolerant plants like ferns, hostas, begonias, and certain herbs like chives and coriander. Spend 1 full day observing your balcony before you plant anything. Note where the sun hits in the morning, at midday, and in the afternoon. This single step will save you from countless failed plants. The second thing to assess is wind. High-rise balconies in particular can be brutally windy, which dries out compost rapidly, snaps tall plants, and stresses anything delicate. If your balcony is exposed, you'll need to think about windbreaks, a trellis, a screen, or even a row of taller, sturdier pots along the exposed edge can make a significant difference. You'll also need to water more frequently on windy balconies, as pots dry out much faster than they would in a sheltered garden. The third thing is weight. This is one most beginners completely overlook. Balconies have weight limits, and large containers filled with wet compost can be surprisingly heavy. A standard 40-litre pot of damp compost can weigh 25 to 30 kilograms. If you're planning multiple large containers, check your building's balcony weight limit, usually found in your lease or building management guidelines. To reduce weight, Use lightweight plastic or fiberglass pots rather than terracotta or ceramic for larger plantings, and mix perlite into your compost to reduce the overall density. Now let's talk containers, because not all pots are created equal, and making the wrong choice here is one of the most common and expensive mistakes beginners make. The most important feature of any container is drainage. Every single pot you buy must have drainage holes at the bottom. Without them, water pools at the base of the pot, starves the roots of oxygen, and causes root rot, which will kill your plant slowly and invisibly until one day it just collapses. If you fall in love with a pot that has no drainage holes, you can drill them yourself with a masonry bit, or use it as an outer decorative pot with a smaller draining pot sitting inside it. Now let's go through the main types of containers and where each one works best. Terracotta pots are the classic choice, and for good reason. They're breathable, which means moisture evaporates through the walls and helps prevent overwatering, a huge benefit for beginners. They're heavy though, so they suit smaller balconies where you won't be moving things around often. They also crack in frost, so if you're in a cold climate, bring them in over winter, or choose frost-resistant terracotta. Plastic pots are lightweight, affordable, retain moisture well, and come in every size imaginable. They're the practical workhorse of container gardening, and there's absolutely no shame in using them. Choose dark colors over light ones. Dark pots absorb heat and warm the root zone, which is particularly good for vegetables and herbs. Window boxes are perfect for balcony railings and add huge visual impact for very little money. They're ideal for trailing plants, herbs, or a mixed planting of flowers and salad leaves. Make sure yours are securely fixed to the railing. A full window box is heavier than it looks, and safety comes first. Fabric grow bags have become incredibly popular in recent years, and for good reason. They're lightweight, allow excellent air circulation around the roots, prevent the roots from circling and becoming pot-bound, and fold flat for storage in winter. They're particularly good for growing potatoes, courgettes, and other vegetables in small spaces. Let me walk you through exactly what I spent on this transformation, so you can see how it's genuinely possible to do this for under €50. 3 medium terracotta pots, €12 total from a local garden centre. 1 large window box planter with railing brackets, €6 from a hardware store. 1 large bag of multi-purpose peat-free compost, €7. Please do not skip on compost quality. Cheap compost is dense, nutrient-poor, and drains badly. Spend a little more here, and your plants will thank you all season. A small bag of perlite for mixing into the compost for improved drainage, €3. Plants, a pot of basil, a pot of thyme, and a pot of mint, €8 total. 1 dwarf lavender, €4. 1 trailing ivy for the window box, €3. A packet of nasturtium seeds to fill gaps and add colour, €1.50. Total spent €48.50 under budget, and every single plant in that list is low maintenance, beginner-friendly, and genuinely useful. The herbs go directly into cooking. The lavender brings in pollinators, the ivy adds instant structure, and the nasturtiums are edible and beautiful. Step 1. Prepare your containers. Cover the drainage holes with a small piece of mesh or a few flat stones. This stops compost from washing out while still allowing water to drain freely. Then add a 1 to 2 inch layer of gravel or broken pot crocks at the base for additional drainage. Step 2. Mix your compost. In a trug or large bucket, combine 3 parts multi-purpose compost with 1 part perlite. Mix thoroughly. This blend gives your plants the nutrients they need while ensuring the pot never becomes waterlogged. Fill each container to about 2 inches below the rim. This gap is important as it gives you room to water without overflow. Step 3. Planting. Before you take a plant out of its nursery pot, water it well and let it drain. This reduces transplant shock. Gently squeeze the nursery pot to loosen the root ball, tip it out carefully, and tease apart any tightly circling roots with your fingers before planting. Position your plant in the compost, firm it gently around the base, and water thoroughly. Step 4. Positioning. Place your pots where they'll get the right amount of light for the plants you've chosen. Remember, herbs generally want as much sun as possible. Mint is the exception. It tolerates partial shade and actually prefers it in hot summers. Keep mint in its own pot always, as it spreads aggressively and will take over any container it shares. Step 5. Label everything. This sounds almost too simple to mention, but every experienced gardener will tell you unlabeled pots are a constant source of confusion. Use lollipop sticks, old spoons, or proper plant labels. Whatever you have. Write the plant name and the date you planted it. You'll thank yourself later. Once your balcony garden is set up, the work shifts from building to maintaining. Here's a simple week-by-week care routine that takes no more than 15 minutes a day. Week 1 after planting. Keep the compost consistently moist but never waterlogged. Your plants are establishing new roots in unfamiliar soil and need steady moisture to settle in. Avoid feeding at this stage. Fresh compost has enough nutrients and additional fertilizer can stress newly transplanted roots. Week 2 onwards, begin a regular watering routine. The golden rule for container watering is to check before you water. Stick your finger an inch into the compost. If it feels dry, water deeply and thoroughly until water drains from the bottom. If it still feels damp, wait another day. Overwatering kills far more container plants than underwatering. From week 3, begin feeding every 2 weeks with a liquid seaweed fertilizer. Seaweed feed is gentle, balanced, and works brilliantly for almost every type of container plant. For herbs and vegetables, switch to a high-potassium tomato feed once flowers start to appear, as this boosts fruiting and flavor. Weekly habits that make the biggest difference. Harvest your herbs regularly and generously. The more you cut, the more the plant produces. Remove any dead or yellowing leaves immediately. Deadhead flowers as soon as they fade. This encourages the plant to produce more blooms rather than going to seed. And once a week, simply sit near your containers and look at them closely. You'll notice pests, disease, or stress signs early when they're easy to fix, rather than late, when they've already done damage. Before we wrap up, let me quickly cover the 5 mistakes I see beginners make most often, so you can avoid them entirely. Mistake 1, overwatering. Already mentioned it, but it bears repeating. More container plants die from too much water than from anything else. Always check before you water. Mistake 2, pots without drainage. Never plant into a container without drainage holes, no exceptions. Mistake 3, using garden soil in containers. Garden soil compacts badly in pots, drains poorly, and is often full of weed seeds. Always use dedicated potting or multi-purpose compost for containers. Mistake 4, choosing plants for looks rather than conditions. A sun-loving lavender in a shaded north-facing balcony will never thrive, no matter how well you care for it. Match your plants to your actual conditions, not your ideal conditions. Mistake 5, giving up after one failure. Every gardener kills plants, every single one. A plant that dies is not a sign that you're bad at gardening, it's information. It tells you something about the light, the water, the soil, or the variety. Learn from it and try again. That's all gardening is, really. And that is the full transformation. From an empty concrete balcony to a living, thriving hidden garden for under €50 and a few hours of your time. I hope this video has shown you that the barriers to starting are smaller than they seem. You don't need a big garden. You don't need experience. You don't need to spend a fortune. You just need a pot, some compost, and the decision to begin. Start with one plant. Put it somewhere it can get light. Water it when the soil is dry. Watch it grow. That's how every hidden garden starts. If this video helped you, please hit subscribe. I post new gardening content every week, all designed for real spaces and real budgets. And leave a comment below telling me what's the first plant you're going to grow on your balcony. I read every single one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.